welcome back to my channel. I feel like I have a million things to tell you and to show you today, so I don't know, I don't even know where to begin, so why don't we just jump right into it and get started. I am wearing the Weekender. If you follow me on Instagram you will have already seen this. I finished this, I think, last Sunday. I think it was, just after the other podcast was posted. It's the oversized Weekender sweater by Andrea Mowry, which I did in my own DK weight. Blueface Lester still got the blues. And I have to say that I am absolutely loving the results of this knit, even though I did go for a DK weight instead of the worsted that the pattern intends for. It's a little bit, it's an oversized sweater, and it's definitely oversized. I could have gone down a size actually, but it's not as much the pattern and the yarn choice, I think, as it is probably me thinking that I need bigger sizes than I actually do. Because I have this thing with sewing as well. I keep choosing larger sizes and then I add on a little bit extra just in case, and I end up with stuff that is really, really big. But for this sweater it totally works. It is as intended. It is oversized, it is comfy, it is snuggly, and I am loving the color, and I expect to be pretty much living in this, yeah, well, until it's too warm outside, basically. So yeah, not much to say about the knit itself. Fairly easy and straightforward, no speed bumps, no nothing. It's just a very enjoyable knit. Yeah, so totally recommend it for anyone, even a beginner, because this is not difficult at all either to knit. So go for it. If you feel inspired, totally make this sweater. Next up is a bit of an unexpected knit. It is the knitted tights that I have been working on and off for the longest time. I did have, used to bring them with me when I went to the movies, which I did a lot for a while. And it was my movie knit because it's just 2x2 ribbing all the way through. Nothing, well, there's some short rows in the back. I did those at home, but the rest of it I have basically knit while at the movies. But lately I haven't been as much to the movies, and I had a craving for something simple to just chug along on, and I grabbed my knitted tights, and I don't know what happened, but I just kind of got caught up in it again, and I find myself grabbing that project again and again, even though I'm still kind of thinking that, you know, maybe I'll probably won't be ready or be done for next winter, perhaps the year after, who knows. But seeing as I tend to gravitate towards this project again and again now, well, things are happening. I mean, we got part of a leg here. It's still a long ways to go, but you know, I did not expect to knit this much on this project at all, and I still find it very enjoyable, so I still grab it ever so often and put in a few more rows into this project. And as you can see, I've actually put in quite a few rows since the last time I showed it. I can't remember how much I knit. I do remember I had started a leg, but I think I've actually done a significant amount of knitting since the last time I showed this. And you know, if I'm going to keep up this pace, well, I should have the first leg done by summer at least. Maybe even sooner, who knows? Well, depending on how my schedule looks for all my other projects. But yeah, I've been grabbing this a lot, and it's fun. It's an unexpectedly enjoyable knit, even though it is just a whole lot of ribbing. But things are happening. There might be a finished pair of knitted tights for next winter. Who knows, before suddenly it happens. So I've been working a bit on that. Quite happy about that as well, actually. Another project that has been coming back again and again here, and I keep talking about it and stating that I really need to get going on this, are of course the tropical socks. This is the first pair I made, and I am steadily working on the second pair. As you can see, there are different colors in the second and the first pair, which is sort of what I intended for when I started this pattern. I wanted it to be something where you can use scraps of yarn that you had lying around, or minis or something, to make the flowers. So you just need the one turquoise skein, or whatever color you prefer to, that says, you know, gives a tropical feeling to it for you. Maybe yellow, who knows? You could have yellow socks or bright pink and have a different color flower on these. Yeah, these are coming along as well. They do take some time because there's a lot of yarns involved here. There are a few rows in the middle here of the flower where you are working with 4 different yarns at the same time. So it gets tangled, I'm not gonna lie, it does get tangled. You do need to take your time with this. You do need to, it's not something I would recommend to be knitting on while watching a really exciting movie or something that takes away your focus from what you're actually doing. So this is not as much an enjoyable knit when it comes to the actual knitting as it is more of an enjoyable knit because of the end result. I'm really loving these, and yeah, I'll just keep chugging along on those, and hopefully that pattern will be done before soon as well. I believe I said in the last podcast that my intention is to have these done before the end of March, and I still do. That is my goal. We are halfway through March now, and I should totally be able to do that. So fingers crossed. So swiftly moving along, let's talk about the Shine On You Crazy Diamond socks. This is the first pair that I finished a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, something like that. And I have been working on the second pair, which is the same sock in a smaller size. And I'm happy to say I have the first one finished now. A couple of things to mention about this. First of all, if you look at these, you might be able to see, I don't know, maybe I can't. The ribbing on the top here is 2x2 ribbing. I don't know what happened here. This is 1x1. But it really doesn't matter because I figured, you know, that's you can choose whatever you feel like. You can do 1x1 if you prefer that, or you can do 2x2. So I discovered it when I was like down here, and I just decided that I'm not ripping the whole thing back just to change the ribbing, and I'm not making another pair just to have, you know, the ribbing, 10 rows of ribbing at the top correct. So I just decided that whatever, 1x1 ribbing is fine as well. So I've started the second one also. I haven't, oh shoot, what did I do here? Oh, there's a lot of yarn here. I started the second one, haven't gone very far with that one. But the second thing that I discovered with this one was that the pattern atop the foot here is slightly askew, so I need to correct that when I make the second sock. And that's basically all there is to it. Once that is done as well, I can write up the pattern and have it published for you. So this project is coming quite close to being done. Depending on how monogamous I am with my knitting in the next few days, I could probably have the second sock done, well, before next podcast, no problem. If I knit only on this project, I could have it done within a couple of days. But I do have a few other things as well that I'm working on, so I probably won't be just knitting on this sock. But yeah, they are coming along nicely. This one hasn't been blocked yet either, which I also need to do. But making progress. Yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of flying through things here, but at the same time I guess it's a good thing. I don't want my podcast to be infinitely long. So I actually have, I would like to say I have one more project, but in fact it is more like 3 projects that are connected to each other. First, let's start with this. This is a pair of fingerless mittens. Kind of a, I don't know, Pippi Longstocking feel to them. Can you see that? And what I did is just to make a very simple fingerless mitten in 3x1 ribbing, and the thumb there, and then I made these teeny tiny patches of different colors that you just stitch onto the mitten. That was my thought. And what I was thinking was that you could just have them like this if that's what you prefer. It's a quick and easy and simple knit. Nothing fancy at all, but still kind of classy. Goes with pretty much everything. But if you want to pimp it a little bit, you could do this, and you could use a contrasting yarn to stitch on the patches onto the mitten, and you can have like a bit of a Pippi Longstocking feel to it. So I've done those, and that when I did those, I thought that I also wanted to have like a whole set. I'm a sucker for sets, for you know, yeah. So I wanted to make a pair of leg warmers as well, and I wanted to make a cowl also. So I did start the leg warmers, and same principle, nothing fancy, just a 3x1 ribbing, and knit to whatever length you want them to be, and then you can embellish them with yarns in like patches of other yarns, or I don't know, you could crochet flowers or something or to put on them as well, and thus making use of all these, you know, tiny scraps that you have lying around. Maybe you don't, but I do. I tend to have, like, you know, like these teeny small bits of yarn that I can't bring myself to throw out because I really love the color or whatever. So that's what you can make, one way of making use of that. So I got the mittens, I got the leg warmers going, and I was thinking I would make a cowl as well. But the last time I ordered pom-poms, I do have carry pom-poms as well in my web shop. The supplier that I ordered them from, they sent an extra one for me for, you know, just as a sample. And I don't know, can you tell it's red and purplish? And I don't know, do you see that? Looking at it now, it kind of feels like, what's that movie? Trolls? Doesn't it look a bit like the hairstyle? One of those trolls? I don't know, I haven't seen the movie, it just occurred to me now. Anyway, if you just use a blow dryer and blow them a bit, they will kind of puff up because they get squished when they are in the package. Anyway, this has been sitting on the shelf in my studio, and I didn't quite know what to do with it until it suddenly dawned on me that this project, this kind of Pippi Longstocking fun project, could be a really cool way of making use of this pom-pom as well. And also it's we're at the end of winter here. Spring is really near. We had spring pretty much 2 weeks ago, and then winter came back and all that, but spring is coming. So I'm kind of feeling that if I'm going to make any more hats for this season, I need to do it now. So I did, of course, cast on a hat. And same thing again with the ribbing. And I did a fold-up brim, like that. I don't know if you can tell. And, oh, I forgot to say that this yarn is also Blueface Leicester in DK weight. It's the same yarn that I used in this sweater. So same type of yarn. And yeah, it's becoming fingerless mittens, it's becoming leg warmers, and it is becoming a hat that I might also just add some little bits and bobs to, like that. And there will be this crazy pom-pom atop. It felt appropriate somehow. So that's an ongoing project that I'm having right now. This one will not be finished anytime soon. The hat will be pretty quickly. The mittens are pretty much done, but you know, leg warmers, those are going to take a while because this is all I got this far. So this is a bit into the future. I probably won't have that pattern ready until maybe May or something, but who cares? Winter will come again, so why not? And oddly, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if you make patterns yourself, but oddly I sell the most patterns for hats and mittens and socks and stuff in July. That's in the middle of summer where I'm from. But at the same time it does make sense, because that's when people have time to sit down and knit and just, you know, indulge themselves in all kinds of fun projects leading up to to winter. And also because in the summer when it's hot, you don't want to have a large project. You don't want to have like a huge big sweater in your lap. So mittens and hats and socks are perfect for knitting in July. So it really doesn't matter to me that I will be launching a clearly autumn wintry pattern in like May, when summer is basically at the door, because that's the time of year when most people actually knit these projects. At least that's what it looks like in my web shop. Okay, one final thing before I start wrapping things up here. I just wanted to show you real quick the knit crate yarns that I got for February. I know we're in mid-March now, but postal services in Sweden are... don't get me started. I received these about a week ago, finally. And this is, let's see, Odin Wools, which is an alpaca merino nylon blend. Incredibly soft. And ironically also green. I think I've gotten like 6 knit crates now, and I think I got one golden brown and I got one blue, sparkly blue, and the rest of them have been green, so I don't know. Maybe they do have, majority of their yarns are actually green, or maybe they have somehow marked me as having a preference for green in the logs. But I'm really loving this one. I have absolutely no idea what to make of it, but it's so squishy and soft. And I really do love the quality of yarns that they have in their knit crates, and I would like to have, they have several others. Well, actually they did change. Oh shoot, what was that? They had like 3 or 4 different kind of knit crates with different types of yarns, and I think they had to omit some of them due to the hand dyers having trouble supplying as many skeins as they needed, which is, it's understandable. That is an issue when you are an indie dyer, because you can't, there's a limit to how much you can produce as a single person. I have that same issue as well. Everything I make will be limited quantities, and I do have some of the yarn, like this one is very popular, which I will make more of, but I still, if I were to supply Knit Crate with yarns for one of the crates, I would have a hard time manufacturing as many as they would need for all of their subscribers. Not that I know how many they are, but I do know that they are likely to have a lot more than I would be able to supply for, at least on short notice. I would need quite a lot of time to plan for it so that I could have it. But they still have the sock crate, which is the one that I have, and I will continue for the time being at least to subscribe to that, because I really love the colors. I really love the qualities of the yarn that they have. I can absolutely recommend them, even though I cannot recommend Swedish Postal Services. It's a story in and of itself. But yeah, and hopefully I will have my March crate soon also. I'm not sure if they sent those yet, or they probably did. They probably did. So I'm hoping I will have those soon as well. I just want to sit here and touch it. So gorgeous. Okay. I felt like I had a million things to talk about with you guys, but I guess I have the projects I've shown you. All of them except the fingerless mittens and hats and that is things that I have shown you previously, which of course means I won't be talking quite as extended about them. And the fingerless mittens and the hats and all that are basically 3 projects in and of its well, baked into one. So yeah, that is what I've been making the past week. I haven't cast on the shawl, the Earth Yarn shawl, just yet. I'm still trying to decide on the design for that one, but that is the next one coming up. I also have a cardigan in Lana Mondial's yarns that I'm going to make, that I need to email them and tell them how much I need of each of the colors that I'm going to do. So there will be a few new projects coming up, and I have been kind of focusing on getting ongoing projects off the needles so that I could get on to the next ones in my pipeline. And I'm also, there's a lot of projects in the pipeline, patterns and designs that are coming up, and I feel that I do need to focus a bit on that for a while, which means I am considering possibly dyeing a little less yarn for a little while. I would also like to bring in some more bases into the shop, which means I do need to experiment a little with I would like to have mohair and cottons and those types of yarns as well. So I guess you could say that my business is currently design heavy at the same time as I'm doing a bit of a review for what yarns and bases to bring in next, and especially now that spring and summer is coming, and I need to get going on that, because I'm kind of feeling that the majority of the yarns that I have in right now are more like the colder seasons type of yarn. So I will probably be focusing a lot more on designs for a little while now, so that I can get to catch up. Hopefully that also means, or that will mean, that I will have more pattern published for you guys, so that you can go grab those. I will probably do a sale as well, maybe for Easter. Or maybe I could do like a sale for all of April or something. There's a thought. I've actually never done a sale before, so that could be fun. Yeah, in case you're wondering why the yarn stock in the web shop isn't updated as much as I have been previously, that's the reason why. I do feel that I need to focus on the designs mainly right now. And I also have a lot of other different projects and jobs that I need to tend to. There's a book that needs writing, I have clients that I do translations for, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I really could do with a clone, but I don't know how to clone myself. Once I figure that one out, I could dye yarn in the same pace that I need to do all the other things. But it's all good, it's all fun, it's all interesting, I have to say. And yeah, I think I'm just going to finish recording there. Thank you all of you that sent such lovely messages after the episode last weekend, when I was feeling very sad and down, and it was rough. It's still rough. I'm working through it. Things are changing, but yeah, still here, still recording, still trying to make some kind of reasonable, interesting content for you, which is actually another thing that I am working on at the moment, figuring out what content to put on my channel. So if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to let me know as well. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a lovely weekend and a lovely week with lots of knitting and spring coming your way as well. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.